News at 6:30 starts now.
A girl is critically burned in a house fire, and tonight firefighters say the smoke detectors in the home were not working. The cold start to 2026 continues. When could we see a warm-up? Your AccuWeather forecast is just ahead. But first, commuters getting ready for a construction closure. Hello, everyone. I'm Ravi Baichwal. Thanks for joining us here on the stream. And on Monday, the CTAL station at State and Lake, right near our studios, it's set to close for the next 3 years. That station is 120 years old, and it is not handicap accessible. It's going to be replaced by a new modern station. And ABC7's Mayor Kawash spoke with commuters about the coming changes, and he shares how some are going to get around this closure.
This is a massive undertaking of a project that local officials say is long overdue, with this historic State and Lake platform now set to shut down as of Monday for 3 years. CTA commuters tell us that they're surprised with how long this construction is planned for, but the Department of Transportation says it will be worth the wait. One of the busiest CTA stations in Chicago is now set to shut down until 2029 as the 130-year-old State and Lake platform gets a massive makeover. CTA riders already frustrated with how long the construction is planned for.
That's a little too long, but hopefully it's nice.
CTA riders coming through the loop will now need to get off the train at Washington and Wabash or Clark and Lake. One of the main upgrades that comes with this project is making it more accessible, especially for those with wheelchairs.
The station isn't accessible to folks in wheelchairs, and we're trying to make it accessible for all of our transit riders.
Renderings of the project show the new modernized upgrades, as the designers of the project say this will improve the platform from top to bottom.
It is not an aesthetic upgrade. It's not a superficial upgrade. It's kind of open heart surgery on a station. We're going to be replacing almost the entire station.
I'm glad that, it'll be worth the wait. When everything is interconnected, that makes more sense.
Other commuters say they'd like to see the money from this project going to public safety on the CTA instead. Those concerns come as the CTA just launched its new security surge plan last month, putting more officers and canines on platforms across the city.
They should have more security. If they got the money to upgrade this to whatever they upgraded, why don't they have the money for security? I heard that they were putting more security, but I ain't seen it.
Now, of course, this project will come with some headaches for drivers coming through this area. Starting Monday, Lake Street will only be open to local traffic between Dearborn and Wabash. From the Loop, Mayor Kawash, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Mayor, thanks very much. And you can learn more about the State and Lake construction project on Our Chicago. It's on Sunday morning during the 8 a.m. hour of our Eyewitness News program. We now know that a candle caused a fire that injured a 13-year-old girl on the city's southwest side today. Firefighters pulling her out of this burning house. The fire breaking out just before 11:30 this morning. It was at 71st and Hoyne on Chicago's southwest side. First responders are performing CPR on the girl as firefighters battled that fire.
She looked like she was in a rough shape for sure. 12, 13 years old, I believe. And then we've seen her around too, all year round, so it was definitely tough to see.
Chicago Fire Department says that there were smoke detectors inside the home, however, they were not working. And firefighters pulled her out of this burning house, a fire breaking out just before 11:30 this morning, as we talked to you about that on 71st and Hoyne on the southwest side. First responders were able to get to that fire at a fairly quick pace. Let's tell you now about a 7-year-old boy who's recovering after being shot. This after another young child allegedly getting a hold of a gun. It happened last night in a Humboldt Park apartment, and that's a building near Division and Spalding. Police say an 8-year-old found the gun and shot the 7-year-old in the arm. The younger boy was taken to Stroger Hospital in serious condition. All right, let's talk a little bit about our weather on this Friday, the first Friday of 2026. A beautiful live shot of downtown Chicago. Happy New Year to everyone. Phil Schwartz joining us right now with our ABC7 AccuWeather forecast. We've got a little bit of a warmth spell coming.
Yeah, we're going to get to see a nice thaw, especially as we head into next week. And even by Sunday for the Bears game, not bad, warmer than today. And there will be at least a little bit of sunshine, at least at the beginning of the game. Game time temperature close to 30, light winds, not bad. And by the end of the game, about 27 degrees. The only problem could be Sunday night when there could be a brief period of a mixed wintry bag. But we'll keep an eye on that. That's not until early Sunday night. 20 at O'Hare, 22 Midway, 19 right now in Whiting. Tomorrow, nowhere near as sunny as today. We'll be hard-pressed to see much more than a few peeks at the sun, but about 5 degrees warmer, getting into the upper 20s. This weekend, not bad, but look what happens as we head into Monday. 42 for a high, and that's just the beginning of the thaw as we could hit 50 degrees later next week, but there are some chances of rain. We'll talk more about that, have your complete extended outlook, that coming up in a few minutes from now. Ravi.
All right, Phil, thanks very much. The Department of Justice says that they have stopped a New Year's Eve terror attack in North Carolina. As ABC's Perry Russum reports, prosecutors say that a man planned to attack random people with knives and hammers, all in support of ISIS.
Ravi, investigators say when they searched his home, they found 2 knives and 2 hammers he was hiding under his bed and handwritten notes outlining his plan. The Department of Justice says 18-year-old Christian Sturtevant was planning to use knives and hammers to carry out a terror attack on New Year's Eve in support of ISIS.
He was preparing for jihad, and innocent people were going to die. And we're very, very fortunate they did not.
Federal prosecutors say Sturtevant was targeting a grocery store or a Burger King in Mint Hill, North Carolina, outside Charlotte, where he lived.
We do have some intelligence that he was looking at a grocery store because there would be a lot of people there.
Prosecutors say Sturtevant was active online, posting on TikTok and chat rooms. 2 people he was unknowingly communicating with were undercover agents. According to court documents unsealed today, Sturtevant allegedly said the U.S. would pay for its retaliatory attack on ISIS targets after 2 National Guardsmen were killed in Syria in December.
Investigation revealed that the subject was capable of executing this attack. He was training, he was doing push-ups, calisthenics, fitness.
The FBI says they first started investigating Sturtevant when he was just 14 years old. According to court documents, back in 2022, he was accused of communicating with an alleged member of ISIS who encouraged him to attack his neighbor. Almost out the door, Sturtevant was stopped and restrained by his grandfather. He was never charged.
If your child, relative, friend, or neighbor is sliding into a dangerous ideology, you'll be the first to see it. And together we can stop it.
Sturtevant was arrested on New Year's Eve, the same day prosecutors say he was planning to carry out his attack. He had his first court appearance this morning, not clear if he entered a plea. In Washington, Perry Russum, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Perry, thanks very much. Investigators believe that sparklers in champagne bottles started a fire. This at a bar at a ski resort in Switzerland. That fire broke out during New Year's celebrations, and at least 40 people have died now from the fire. More than 100 people were hurt. Investigators believe the sparklers came too close to the bar's ceiling. And we have welcome news tonight for telehealth patients. The Department of Health and Human Services, along with the DEA, have extended the rule that allows people to receive prescriptions for controlled medications without an inpatient visit. That rule now extends through 2026. The rule is designed to help people who are, say, seniors or rural residents and people with disabilities get health care that they need. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office says that opioid overdoses dropped again last year. So far, the office has confirmed more than 680 opioid overdoses. Nearly 4 out of 5 of those deaths involving fentanyl. But what here is interesting, opioid overdoses peaked in 2022 when there were more than 2,000 deaths reported. The office saying that the decline is encouraging, but adds that opioid overdoses remain the greatest cause of unnatural death in Cook County. It is a rare event tonight. The search is on for a mountain lion after a woman in Colorado was killed. Plus a morning earthquake rattling Mexico. And later, new features coming to some vehicles might be not so new after all. Stay with us. A strong earthquake rattles southern and central Mexico. Webcam video from Acapulco showing the moment that the 6.5 magnitude earthquake struck its epicenter near the town of San Marcos in the southern state of Guerrero. That earthquake was also felt way up in Mexico City, 200 miles away, right as the president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, was giving her first press briefing of the year. That's what happened right there. The room was briefly evacuated. There's some minor damage in Mexico City, including shattered windows and a downed light pole. No immediate reports, however, of any deaths. Massive protests are breaking out across Iran, and there are reports that some have turned deadly. President Trump is warning Iranian leaders to not kill peaceful protesters. He said if they do, quote, the United States will come to the rescue, locked and loaded and ready to go. An Iranian security official responding, saying that U.S. interference would result in the destruction of American interests. Now, these protests began in response to Iran's economic crisis, caused in part by U.S. sanctions. Well, on his first full day in office, the new mayor of New York, Mayor Zohran Mamdani, is rolling back a series of executive orders put in place by his predecessor, Eric Adams. Those include an order that had expanded the definition of anti-Semitism. He also pulled back a directive that barred city employees and agencies from boycotting or divesting from Israel. In response, Israel's foreign ministry has condemned the mayor's actions. Mamdani leaned into his intention to change the status quo, this during his inaugural speech.
Standing together with the wind of purpose at our backs, we will set an example for the world.
Mayor Mamdani says that the city's Office to Combat Anti-Semitism will remain in place. The crews are searching for a third mountain lion in Colorado after they say that a woman was attacked and killed while hiking alone. Now, 2 of the animals have already been euthanized, and as ABC's Jacqueline Lee reports now, authorities believe this is the first deadly attack in that state in more than 2 decades.
Ravi, authorities say fatal mountain lion attacks are incredibly rare, but they did euthanize 2 mountain lions as a result of this incident. Trail cam videos like these are now being looked at closely in Colorado, where officials are investigating a woman killed, possibly by mountain lions. 2 hikers finding the woman on Crozier Mountain Trail, about 90 miles outside of Denver. A mountain lion standing over her body. They threw rocks at the animal to scare it away.
There were signs that this was consistent with a mountain lion attack, but we can't say for sure.
Authorities rushed to the scene and searched for mountain lions using dogs and aerial technology.
When officers did respond, 1 lion was still there, so that lion was shot.
Authorities discovering and euthanizing a second mountain lion, and today they say they are looking for a third that may have been involved.
It was just frightening to think about because we do walk up there quite a bit and we have a dog, and it's unnerving.
Kelly Mahoney owns a cabin nearby. She says 2 weeks ago, she spotted a family of 4 mountain lions passing by her home on security camera.
I couldn't believe it when I saw the one big cat, and then all of a sudden all you see are eyeballs coming down off the mountain, and there were the 4 of them together, which I've never seen before.
Pathologists will perform a necropsy on the euthanized mountain lions looking for human DNA. And experts say if you are hiking, hopefully you can do it in large groups and never run away. In Los Angeles, Jacqueline Lee, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Jacqueline, thanks very much. Another round of storms has brought New Year's flooding to Southern California. That area is still dealing with the after effects from last year's wildfires, if you'll remember. And there have been evacuation orders issued for Pacific Palisades and other areas around Los Angeles. Streams of mud could be seen flowing over the tops of hillside barriers. Take a look here. And further south, firefighters rescued people from flooded roadways near San Diego, including a father and a child stranded in their Jeep.
You're in the middle of a river with your Jeep halfway submerged underwater. That's got to be a traumatic situation. I can only imagine what the parent must have felt.
And flooding, as you can see there, has prompted multiple freeway closures all across Southern California. Well, they won the first marriage license in Cook County of 2026, and so we're going to introduce you to the happy young couple. And we take a live look outside here from the Royal Sonesta Chicago downtown camera. We have a break coming in our weather, actually. Warmer weather is on the way. Phil has all the details in your AccuWeather forecast up next. The holidays are winding down, of course, but the number of flu cases is on the rise in many places. The New York State Department of Health today reporting a record-breaking number of flu hospitalizations over a one-week period. Nearly 1,000 people were admitted. And because of the holidays, the CDC did not release nationwide numbers today, but for the week that ended on December 20th, the CDC estimated there have been 7.5 million cases so far this season. A doctor offering advice for what to do if you have been exposed to the flu.
You can expect for flu symptoms after exposure to start within 1 to 4 days, but for most it's about day 2. So that 48 hours is where you want to prepare. You want to grab a rapid flu test at your local CVS, Walgreens, your local pharmacy, and then talk to your provider about medications if you are higher risk.
Now, according to the latest numbers from the CDC, there have been 3,100 deaths from the flu this season. And this year, roughly a third of American adults plan to participate in Dry January. The goal here, very simple, go alcohol-free for a month to start the year. As studies show, 75% of participants make it all the way through the whole month. Health benefits, of course, including decreased liver fat, lower blood sugar, better sleep, and improved concentration.
Dry January is just another way that people can put a mirror up to their own relationship with alcohol.
And new data is showing that 54% of U.S. adults drink alcohol, and that is the lowest percentage in some 90 years. A special day for a special couple who scored the first marriage license of the new year in Cook County. Our Evelyn Holmes was there as the couple said, "I do."
2026 brings in a celebration of love as Cook County marries its first couple of the year.
I now pronounce you married and the first couple of 2026. Congratulations!
After 2 years together, Melissa Nunez and Elizabeth Bransky tied the knot.
You may kiss your partner.
The 27-year-old hairstylist and mother of an 11-year-old son and the 25-year-old retail worker became the first couple in Cook County to get married in 2026.
And 2026 too, like that's
2026 is supposed to be a year of love and prosperity, so I'm excited to see what it has in store.
The couple met through a dating app and got engaged in September. Melissa, who is originally from the city's southwest side, came up with the idea to enter the clerk's annual marriage license lottery.
I came home from work one day and she was like, I did something. And I was like, what'd you do? And she told us that she entered us in this raffle.
Yeah. Nearly 1,000 Chicago area couples entered this year's lottery, the highest number of entries ever received in the 35 years since the event started. That's according to the clerk's office. Melissa and Elizabeth, an Elk Grove Village native, were chosen after the couple initially selected dropped out of the contest.
They called us and they were like, the first people dropped out and you won. And we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
It was awesome.
The nuptials not only made the couple's day, but also history. This is the first time two brides won the marriage license lottery and were married. Two men won back in 2022 and exchanged vows.
And I believe in love. I believe in forever love. And I'm looking at you too, and I'm like, this is gonna last forever.
As a wedding gift from the county, the couple not only received their marriage license for free, but were given a one-night stay at a downtown hotel along with other special gifts. This morning, the couple's family and friends say their love story was meant to be.
They've always been going through some things, struggling, and have never had time for themselves. And it's just like, after all the struggle, the negativity, they finally have like a happy ending.
After the ceremony, everyone went out for pizza. Chicago's first married couple now lives on the city's northwest side and says they look forward to building a strong foundation and hope to have more children.
The couple is going to forego a big honeymoon and celebrate with family and friends before having a larger celebration next year. Reporting from downtown Chicago, Evelyn Holmes, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, we wish the couple well and everybody else in 2026. Live shot here of the city from our White Sox cam, looking north back up into the city. Pretty busy out there. Pretty clear day today. The sun was out because we had a little bit of colder temperatures. Phil Schwartz standing by with our AccuWeather forecast. Phil, you know, I always say this. I will take lower temperatures to get that sunshine, especially at this time of the year.
And especially with very little wind. That helps. You know, you didn't have to really deal with much of a wind chill during the day today. Let's take a quick look back at 2025. The average temperature for the entire year finished at 52.1 degrees. That's just under 1 degree above normal. It's the 16th warmest year on record. Maybe even more notable is the precipitation coming in at over 8 inches below normal. That's our driest year since 2012. And all in all, for the next several days, we do have more dry weather on the way. And we have more warmth. This is January 10th through the 16th, our 8 to 14 day outlook, still favoring above normal temperatures. But once we get past about mid-January, there are pretty strong signs that it will turn significantly colder as we head towards the end of January and early February. But in the meantime, enjoy, because we got quite the thaw heading our way. Today's high, though, only 24 degrees. That's some 9 degrees below average. Last year in the state, we had a high of 32. Right now, we do have the clouds beginning to thicken up just a bit. 20 degrees, northwest winds at 7, making it feel like it's 11 degrees. 22 downtown. Hammond, you're at 21. Michigan City checking in at 18 and 16 right now in Wheaton. Teens and 20s across virtually the entire Midwest. We do have these high, thin clouds moving in, but we're also going to see a low deck of stratus develop later tonight into tomorrow. So limited sunshine tomorrow. This moisture, most of it not reaching the ground. What is will pass to our south in the form of sprinkles or a few flurries, but not for us. Meanwhile, out west, while they're getting rain in the lower elevations, winter storm warning still in effect for the Sierras of California with some very heavy snows, kind of a mixed blessing with the risk of more landslides, but also bringing them some much needed moisture. So back in the Midwest, fairly quiet, not a lot of moisture anywhere. There's the week high that will keep us dry for the vast majority of the weekend. There's one exception, Sunday night. So tonight the clouds thicken up. Tomorrow, kind of a gray day, but a little warmer than today, getting up to 29 degrees. Later tomorrow night, it does look like we'll clear out, and we will see some sunshine for the balance of Sunday with some increasing clouds late in the day. The high 32, but watch what happens Sunday night. There's that mixed bag of precipitation we're concerned with. It won't last long, but between about 7 and 10, that's when we could get just a mixture of snow, sleet, and freezing rain with minor accumulations, but it could get icy for a brief time. That moves out, skies clear at least partially, so we'll see some sunshine Monday, and that's when we really start the thaw with a high temperature Monday afternoon getting up to about 42, and much warmer than that once we get into the middle of next week. Lows tonight from 12 in the outlying areas to 20 in the city. The clouds will be on the increase, seasonably cold. Tomorrow, limited sunshine, but not quite as cold as today. Not a lot of wind. Highs from 27 north to 31 south. Here's your extended outlook. Pretty good weather for the Bears game on Sunday, and there's the warm-up. Upper 40s as we head into the middle of next week. Maybe lower 50s on Thursday, but later in the week, there is an increasing threat of rain. So all in all, pretty nice, pretty quiet weekend.
Yeah, and you know, the start of January doesn't have to be as harsh as it always is. All right, good stuff, Phil. Thank you. Let's talk about Tinley Park. It is filled with paws and whiskers and a whole lot of competition. This weekend is the Great American Dog and Cat Show. It started this morning and runs through Sunday at the Tinley Park Convention Center. The event features hundreds of breeds competing in various competitions like Best in Show and Creative Grooming. All right. And incorporating throwback features into new vehicles, why automakers are looking to the past to bring in new consumers. Sports Illustrated naming this man, budding NBA superstar Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, its Sports Person of the Year. The Canadian-born basketball sensation known to Hoops fans simply by his initials SGA. He's with the Oklahoma City Thunder, of course. He's a guard. He has already been the league's MVP, the NBA Finals MVP, the scoring champion of the league. And you know what? He's only 27 years old. How do you like that? And a Chinese company overtakes Tesla, becoming the world's best-selling electric car maker. BYD sold 2.26 million cars last year, Tesla delivering 1.64 million. And that number is down 9% from the year before. Tesla sales have taken a hit as customers protested CEO Elon Musk's ties to the Trump administration, Elon Musk eventually leaving his post in the middle of last year. And drivers in Indiana now have 5 new license plate designs to choose from. They include one honoring the state's WNBA team. It also supports girls and women's organizations, and another supports teachers. One is promoting the health of pollinators, which are critical to food and ecosystems. And the last two support Purdue University Fort Wayne and Purdue University Northwest in Hammond, Indiana. The additional fee for all of these license plates going directly to those organizations. And automakers making some changes to get more drivers into new rides this year. As ABC's Danny New reports, while some are going high-tech, others are bringing back old-school features.
That's real music. You hear that?
In the era of cars with touchscreen interfaces, do you ever miss just when you could hit a physical button and turn on the radio?
When you're driving, you like to just know, oh, this is the AC button, not to look at a screen, which you can't really feel. You see with your fingers when you're driving it.
Sure, absolutely.
Ed Kim here is the president of Auto Pacific, an automotive market research and consulting firm. As we preview big changes in automobiles and technology in 2026, he says companies will be responding to consumer complaints about cars' reliance on screens.
They're bringing back physical controls, real buttons, real knobs, real switches back into vehicles.
We also talked about the continuing effort to make electric vehicles sound a little more like vroom vroom. For example, Porsche's new Cayenne Electric will feature sound technology to make the car sound like it has a roaring engine. And in fact,
Sport Mode delivers by sharpening the handling, powertrain responsiveness, and engine sound.
Hybrids will also start to incorporate this concept more too, like the new Honda Prelude.
It simulates the sound and performance of an 8-speed automatic transmission with gear changes and all that sort of stuff, even though the Prelude actually doesn't even have a transmission.
Meanwhile, we knew at some point AI would be making a cameo in here. Ed says automakers like Rivian will be using AI to power their semi-autonomous driving features in big ways. While he says Tesla's uses mostly AI and cameras for detection, Rivian's will also incorporate radar and later in 2026, LiDAR. LiDAR is like radar, but with lasers. Meanwhile, the robo-taxi service Waymo has been working on expanding beyond largely California and Arizona in cities such as Miami, Dallas, Houston, and Orlando. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
All right, some interesting stuff there. Do you prefer the video screen in your car, or do you want the real knobs and buttons and stuff?
I'm indifferent, to be honest with you. I can do either.
My aunt always tells my uncle, stop playing with the car and just drive it. Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you at 10 on ABC7.